Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Megan from the University of Mary Washington, and thanks for joining us for the Pro-Life Gen News. The strength of Students for Life groups doesn't always come in the form of legal action. While we've talked in other episodes about your legal rights on campus, today we want to talk about what to do when you can't sue. Yet. If you are part of a campus pro-life group, chances are your fellow students have tried to silence you, while the administration either stayed silent or was complicit. Maybe it was vandalism. Maybe it was a lack of permission to do an event. Maybe teachers even brought some of their class outside to come argue with you. Yes, we are looking at you, College of Lake County.
I have to teach, and my students have to go with me. I'm sorry.
Is this a class?
Well, we just knew you guys were here, and so we came from part of our class. But it has nothing to do with biology.
Thank you so much.
or anything.
What class is it?
It's a theater class, stage
awesome.
management theater class.
Yeah, some of their class. Meaning the rest were just sitting in the empty classroom they paid to learn in. Listen, we have no problem with debate, and we're glad to take on anyone who wants to dialogue, but I know I pay way too much for college to be happy about a professor using my class time to argue with pro-life students. How about you do that on your own time? Discrimination towards pro-life campus groups is common, usually illegal, and generally sickening. So what's the good news? You can fight back. Today, we're going to talk about 3 groups that faced opposition but didn't take it sitting down. These are groups that faced intimidation or harassment from students or administrators but didn't let that stop them from speaking the truth. The first story is close to my heart because it's my Students for Life group at the University of Mary Washington right here in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Yep, right down the road from this Students for Life of America studio. This semester, we went to chalk around campus to write life-affirming messages about how parenting, adoption, and how pregnant and parenting students could find the help they needed. But some angry pro-choice students destroyed our chalkings. Obviously, we were upset. But what was worse is when we went to our administrators for help, one actually read us the First Amendment off of Wikipedia and then told us the First Amendment didn't apply to what was happening. So did we back down, pack up our pro-life group, and go home? No. It was way cooler to arrange with our regional coordinator to bring over 200,000 baby socks to campus to show how many babies are lost to abortion in just one semester. We are proud of our calling to share the truth. We are not afraid to boldly talk about why we are pro-life and why other students should join us in abolishing abortion. We had numerous great conversations, even finding common ground with many people who considered themselves pro-choice, and signed up even more students. And oddly enough, we didn't hear anything more from our First Amendment friend. So what did we learn? When we found ourselves under attack, we didn't back down. We developed a plan and quickly struck back, making sure that students, or maybe professors or staff, did this to us, saw that we were not going to be intimidated. This next story comes to us from up in North Dakota. The Students for Life group at North Dakota State University wanted to bring the Fall They Feel Pain tour to campus. After filling out all the paperwork, the school told them that they could have the display, but that the school was going to warn everyone about the display. But the students, with the help of Students for Life, did some digging on the people making those decisions. And what did they find? The vice provost is a Democrat Party district chairwoman in the state. And when we asked the school if any other group had ever been singled out for a warning email, the school produced 2 other examples of when it had happened in the past several years. Both, shocker, were warnings about other pro-life groups on campus and Students for Life. So when people start harassing you, especially those in power, start Googling around, asking questions, and put the pressure on them to back up their actions. So here's what to do if your pro-life group finds itself under attack. First, like we talked about in the free speech episode, gather evidence. In fact, anytime you do a display or put up posters, take before photos. Then, if anything happens, take after photos. Second, work with the Students for Life communications team and your regional coordinator to develop a plan of action. Sometimes there may be legal action, but more likely than not, the situation won't quite qualify for legal action. These everyday occurrences are when you want to stand up right away and show that you won't be intimidated. If your chalk fell victim to water attacks, go out the next day and chalk twice as much. If your event flyers were torn down, put up even more flyers in even more places. If fellow students try to prevent you from dialoguing with people on campus, bring in a speaker the next week. Your persistence will show pro-abortion students and faculty that they cannot shut you up. But sure, they can keep trying. It makes for good publicity. Finally, make sure to document any issues your group is facing and report them to the relevant administrators and departments at your school. This could include the Dean of Students, the Student Affairs or Student Activities Department, and even Campus Police. You should also ask the administration to publicly condemn all acts of violence against your group and all other groups. Thanks for joining us for today's Pro-Life Gen News, and keep up the fight.